Welcome to Old Folks Racing PlayStation. We continue to cover the amazing Global Vintage Championship with the Ford Escort. What a car! And it should be particularly good in this Red Bull Ring National Circuit, the short version of the Austrian circuit. Just a few corners there. It should provide good racing, a quick lap, lots of overtaking, and a bit of argy-bargy, as we like to see here in Old Folks Racing PlayStation, of course within reason. And let's look at the starting grid. We have 10 participants in this race today, and Delphi Moura is the man on pole position, followed by Jorge Jesus, followed by Diogo Silva. Scott Davely on the second row. Can he challenge for the win? 50 is Gonçalo Mota. We have 4 Portuguese drivers in the top 5. Then it's Kev Allen, Diogo Almeida in 7th, Andrew Dalby in 8th, Darren Head only in 9th. What can he do from 9th place? And finally Rob Oldham completing the top 10 of this race, which is also all the participants in this race. Let's go for 21 laps, and that's a good start by Delphi Moura. What a start also by Diogo Silva in that green car up into 2nd place. We only have 10 cars, so they should be able to not bump into each other in turn 1, but I would not bet on it. But look at the lead that Delphi Moura already has, and Jorge Jesus is side by side with Diogo Silva in 2nd place. No, he's not in 2nd place, and we have a leaderboard problem. We have a leaderboard problem, and this is going to be very annoying to commentate, because it is quite difficult to figure out where people are. Delphi Moura in in the lead of this race, the yellow car. Then it's Diogo Silva. Then it's someone else, and this Gonçalo Mota up into 3rd place. We have to see how on earth this happened. Gonçalo did a great job there, moving into 3rd place, and we are going to have to see this replay. We're almost at the end of the lap, but it's a pretty short lap here, just under a minute, so it should be quite quick to see what went on with Jorge Jesus, that seemed to have missed the start there. Jorge, he did not have the greatest of starts, and there it is. And Gonçalo Mota, nicely done, jumping Scott Davely right at the start. Now look at this, Diogo Silva going defensive down on the inside, and but he already has is clear of Jorge Jesus. Now it's side by side between Gonçalo Mota and Jorge Jesus. Look at this, Gonçalo Mota even challenged for 2nd place. Nicely done there by Gonçalo Mota, up into a podium position. Let's go back to Jorge Jesus, and where he's in 4th spot. Look at this, Gonçalo Mota already challenging Diogo Silva for 2nd place. Delphi Moura continues to lead. Now we have a top 4. They're all Portuguese, 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th, and Scott Davely logically would be in 5th place. Yes, he is, but he's under pressure from that red car, the number 44 of Darren Head, that is now on the inside. Now before the final section, look at Jorge Jesus already on the inside of Gonçalo Mota. There, lots of action there. Jorge Jesus runs very wide there, and knocks off that board there that indicates the braking distance. But it is Delphi Moura that leads the opening lap of this race. We'll keep an eye on the rest of the field. Should be a pretty tight field. There's a car doing an overtake there. That's Kev Allen on Scott Davely, I believe. Let's see where Scott is. And Scott Davely is running backwards in this race. Look at the tight battles here at the back, as no one really wants to finish last. But Scott Davely loses another position to Kev Allen. Kev Allen also is ahead of the American driver, and Darren Head is ahead of both. So let's have a quick look through the field. Leader is Delphi Moura, already going a bit defensive. Diogo Silva is in 2nd place. 3rd place man is Jorge Jesus. 4th is Gonçalo Mota. 5th is Darren Head. 6th is going to be Kev Allen, as another lap is complete. 7th is going to be Scott Davely. And then we've got the final 3 drivers. That's Andrew Dalby, Rob Oldham, and the other driver that we have not covered is Diogo Almeida. Diogo Almeida, there he is. Diogo Almeida is in 9th spot at the moment. I believe it is Rob Oldham that's at the back of the no, it's not Rob Oldham. It should be, yes, it's Andrew Dalby that is the driver. Oh no, it's not Andrew Dalby. What happened? It's Scott Davely. Scott Davely has dropped back. No, he's not. He is the black car. So who is that green car? And we'll try to find who that is. That is Rob Oldham. Rob Oldham is indeed in the final position, as now Gonçalo Mota is under pressure from Darren Head. Let's look at this battle, and I do apologize for not spotting the action immediately, but it is somewhat tricky to commentate without a functioning leaderboard. At least the lap number is working. We are on lap 4. Look at it there. That's Diogo Almeida, and I believe Diogo Almeida is overtaking now another car on the inside there, and that is for 7th spot, running side by side there. I believe it's with Andrew Dalby. Andrew Dalby and Diogo Almeida side by side, and Scott Davis is ahead of them. This is for 8th place. Sorry, this is for 8th place, running side by side there through the corner. Nicely done there. And look at this, a bit of pushing and shoving. That's exactly what we would like to see with this for Escort, and they've been running side by side the whole lap. But now Diogo Almeida is, well, still behind in that number 49. Andrew Dalby is the driver in front. Let's look at the battle there between Gonçalo Mota and Darren Head. That continues to be quite interesting as they complete another lap. The top 3, that's Delfim Moura, Diogo Silva, Jorge Jesus. Then it's Gonçalo Mota. There's a driver there that made a mistake there at the back. Someone went off the track. That was, I believe, Andrew Dalby. And look at this 3 wide there. 3 wide now for 8th spot. And let's see how this goes. Oh, and of course it didn't go well. And that was, I believe, Andrew Dalby. And it was Rob Oldham. Let's look at the replay. I think this is just a question of 3 into 1. Didn't go very well. That corner is not known for being a very good corner for 3 cars. There it is. It's the number 49 of Diogo Almeida. Andrew Dalby is in the middle, and Rob Oldham is going to move. Well. Rob Oldham also did move a little bit, and Andrew Dalby was there and couldn't just disappear. So Rob Oldham now in 10th, 9th is Andrew Dalby, 8th is Diogo Almeida, 7th is Scott Davely. And he's trying. Look at Darren Head there. Look at Darren Head. That's the red car, and Darren Head is very interested in that 5th position. Look at Kev Allen. Kev Allen, that number 77, now going on the outside here. Not a very usual overtaking point, and of course Darren does take the inside line and the corner. This is good racing here. Oh, and Gonçalo Mota. No, Gonçalo Mota was doing such a great job and ends up losing it and losing a lot of positions. He does not drop to last though, because there's still Rob Oldham behind him, but not a good move there by Gonçalo Mota. He just lost it in the last corner. Now he's sitting in 9th. Up into 8th is Diogo Almeida. No, sorry, Diogo Almeida is not in 8th place. Well, he is in 8th place. Yes, no, sorry, he's in 7th. 8th is Andrew Dalby. 7th is Diogo Almeida. Up into 6th goes. Oh, whoa, what is this? This is Kev Allen. Kev Allen has lost it himself. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. More dramas here for Kev Allen, and the question is, was it on his own, or did he have any assistance? And the answer is, well, this was a battle between him and Darren Head. And of course this battle is now for 4th spot, because Gonçalo Mota dropped down the order with that off-road excursion. Now Kev is on the inside there in turn 1, and he's side by side with Darren. In fact, he's slightly ahead. Now comes the braking zone for turn 1, and Darren is going to try to run side by side there. You can run side by side. And it seems to, they were just pointing to the same piece of track, and I think that well, I was about to say that Kev clipped the curb, which was true, but I'm not sure that was what triggered the incident. I think they just ran side by side, and then Kev just ran into the side of Darren. Now he is dead last, so let's update ourselves on who is last. That's Kev Allen. 9th is Rob Oldham. 8th is Andrew Dalby. Andrew Dalby already lost the position to Gonçalo Mota. Incredibly, Gonçalo Mota is now back into 7th place, so he did drop a few places, but not as dramatic as it sounded when the incident happened. Then is 6th place for Diogo Almeida. 5th is Scott Davely. Fourth is Darren Head. Now let's have a look at the battle for the lead of this race. We haven't seen the leaders in quite some time, and they've all been sitting in first, second and third, close to each other, but not close enough to make a move. And that number 93 of Delphi Moura is going very sideways there in turn 2. And now I think something is hitting the fan, because Diogo Silva is perhaps a bit tired of being the sandwich there. A bit of a Portuguese sandwich there with Diogo Silva in the middle, and Diogo is fast, but he cannot get close to Delphi to make a move. In fact, it looks to me as if that it is Jorge Jesus who is about to make a move for second place, more so than Diogo Silva for first, as we complete now lap 7. So we have completed the first third of this race. We keep an eye on the battle there at the back, because we can see pretty much everyone. Darren Head is still in fourth, followed by Scott Davey, followed by Diogo Almeida, followed by Gonçalo Mota, and there's a driver that has a bit of a battle there at the back. There is a battle there at the back, and I think Andrew Dalby is in the middle of it. No, he's not. I think it's Kev Allen. Kev Allen in the 2 green cars. That's Kev Allen on the inside now of Rob Oldham, and it's a bit optimistic there. It's a bit optimistic, and Kev was almost losing it again. Let's go back to the... Ooh, look at the battle for second place now. Look at the battle for second place. Diogo Silva is under severe pressure now from Jorge Jesus in that number 77 car. There he is. Another lap is about to be completed. Look at this, Delphi Moura almost lost it in the last corner. The top 3 are absolutely nose to tail as they complete another lap. We'll keep an eye on the rest of the pack, and we have an emerging battle. There are 4 cars there for fourth place. Darren Head is still ahead of Scott Davis, still ahead of Diogo Almeida, still ahead of Gonçalo Mota, and then it's Andrew Dalby there at the back is in 8th place. And then of course we have and we'll keep an eye on that battle as well, Rob Oldham and Kev Allen battling for 9. But look at how hot the battle for the lead is here. We are about to hit the midpoint of this race, and now drivers are starting to push the envelope a bit more. You can see drivers trying a bit harder to try to get to that position where you can make a move. It's not that easy to overtake another car that has more or less the same pace. You do need to make a clean move. You basically need to be side by side on the braking zone, and these guys are, well, you can't put a blanket in there, but still not in a position to make an overtake, as now something has happened there and we haven't seen it. That's Diogo Almeida made a move on Scott Davely, and he is now up into 5th place. Scott Davely drops to 6th, so again not moving in the right direction after qualifying very well, and he's about to become under pressure from Gonçalo Mota. Let's go back to the race leads and see if there are any developments. I do apologize, normally we would be able to see developments on the leaderboard, at least the gaps, but with the non-functioning leaderboard, well, we now have lap times, which is a massive development. And you can see how tight this field is. Well, Rob Oldham just had a very bad lap, so something must have happened to him, and he probably is sitting in 10th place. We will go back to that action, but now let's another lap is complete, and let's take a look at the 3 leaders, because, well, they are extending their lead now. Oh, look at this, that's something happened there at the back. Something is happening there at the back with Darren Head, and it seems to me that Scott Davely is coming back at Diogo Almeida as well into turn 1. Bit difficult to pick up every battle like this. Ooh, and Scott Davely, no! Scott Davely gets tagged by Gonçalo Mota, and that was a bit naughty, but to be fair, Scott did leave a gap there because he was trying to overtake Diogo Almeida and ended up not defending. Attack and defense is crucial at the same time with this car. Let's go back to the race leaders. We have first, second and third, and we will just do a quick confirmation that Rob Oldham is indeed running last. He is running last. He is now back to normal, 59.8 is a good lap time, and Kev Allen is running in 9th. Then is Andrew Dalby. But let's go back to the race lead, because this is, well, look at this. George Jesus is now in a position that maybe he can think about a move, but he's still too far behind. Look at Scott. Whoa, Scott Davey is making moves there. Is that Scott Davey? No, it's not. What happened to Darren Head? No, he's still there. But Gonçalo Mota has gone up into 5th place, so I have a suspicion that we may need a replay of what happened here, because the last time we saw Gonçalo, he was trying to overtake Scott Davey in turn 1, and with a bit of a tag was successful in doing so. But this was, ooh, it was a mistake there by Diogo Almeida. That was a mistake. Gonçalo is already up into 6th place. Now Diogo Almeida on his own is just lost it now, is in the curb, and he now just disappears and comes back into the track. But now this is an example of taking advantage of someone else's mistake, and Gonçalo Mota up into 5th place. Let's look at the leaders. They're running wide big time there into turn 1. We are on lap 12, so officially in the second half of this race. And now Diogo Silva left the door open, and this is exactly what happened with Scott Davey there, and Gonçalo Mota. He was trying to make a move, but then ended up not defending his position. But now look at this, something is about to happen here surely, and Delphi Moura is about to get overtaken, or is he? Because he goes defensive, and now this is the outside for Diogo Silva, which is probably not a great place to be, and he's already figured that one out as well, and goes back to behind Delphi Moura. But now definitely in the second half of this race we do expect to see a few more sparks here, as they now complete lap 12. And let's have a look at Delphi Moura already going defensive there into turn 1. And now here comes Jorge Jesus on the inside. This is opportunistic, and he does it. The question is, can he actually keep the second place? No, because Diogo Silva is coming back at him now, running side by side. Delphi Moura had a bit of a moment there in turn 1 himself, but look at this, and now almost contact, but not quite. But he gets there. No, Jorge Jesus now has the inside line, and he's going to a bit of a brush there, but Jorge Jesus takes the position. This was good racing between the two drivers. Absolutely good racing on board with race leader Delphi Moura. Let's go trackside and see what is going to happen in this race. Let's look at the other battle, big battle that we have. Darren Head sitting in 4th place. Then 5th is Gonçalo Mota, 6th is Diogo Almeida, 7th is Scott Davey. So everything is normal there. The only difference is that actually Darren Head is a bit ahead now of Gonçalo Mota in 5th. Let's go back to the race leaders as they complete another lap, because turn 1 is always a very interesting place to watch and go. Oh dear, mistake there by Delphi Moura. Mistake, the race leader after 13 laps on the 14th lap makes a mistake on his own, and the new leader is now Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus is the new leader of this race. The question is, can Delphi Moura, does he have the pace to come back and still battle for the lead? We still have 7 laps to go at the line, 7 minutes to go in this race, and the battle for the top 3 has become the battle for the top 2. We'll keep an eye on other battles, but and Jorge Jesus now is in a bit of trouble there in the final section of the circuit. He's a bit of trouble. Here comes Diogo Silva now. They are running side by side into turn 1, and Diogo Silva is already slight ahead, so it should be job done under normal circumstances. And Diogo Silva is the new leader of this race. We had 2 changes for the lead, or did we? Because Jorge Jesus is coming back at him, and they're running side by side, and this is exactly what Delphi Moura wants to see, because he knows that these drivers are going to lose time just running side by side. And then look at that, they're basically running side by side the whole lap again. That number 77 is on the inside, and now Jorge Jesus, just like the previous time, is on the inside, but no, Diogo Silva is now the leader. Oh, look at this, they keep swapping. They keep swapping, and Diogo Silva continues now to lead this race. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Diogo Silva is going to be the leader now on lap 15, completion of lap 15, and Delphi Moura is already back in the mix, because these drivers, of course, they were running side by side, which is not the fastest way to run around this Red Bull Ring circuit, and now they are absolutely battling it out again, except that they are in the reverse order to what it was a few laps ago. And look at this, Jorge Jesus going very defensive there on Delphi Moura. Jorge Jesus going very defensive there. Diogo Silva going defensive himself. Let's see what happens in turn one. Delphi Mora is on the inside now. Ooh, almost contact. There was contact. There was slight contact, but everyone keeps their momentum. This is absolutely incredible. We'll keep an eye quickly on other battles to see what's going on with Darren Head, Gonçalo Mota. Everyone is still in the same place there. So covering the top 7, the other drivers, I think they are running more or less on their own, and we have an absolutely brilliant battle here for the lead of this race. We've got 5 laps to go at the line. 5 laps to go here, 5 minutes of racing left in this race. Diogo Silva continues to lead this race, but he is under severe pressure from George Luz. Look at this, George making a good move there in the last corner. Didn't quite work, but he is faster. It seems to me that the drivers that are behind somehow still have a bit of an advantage, and they are checking out from the rest of the pack. As we can still see Darren Head in 4th place. Look at this, George Luz on the inside now. George Luz is on the inside for the lead, and he does it. George Luz for the lead of this race, and now look at this. Oh, then 3 wide. There's going to be 3 wide there, and the Delphi Mora on contact between the 3. And look at this, it is incredible. Delphi Mora is going to do a 2-in-1, and we'll have to have a replay of this as Delphi Mora moves from 3rd to 1st, and Diogo Silva loses the position. Let's look at the onboard from Delphi Mora. This was absolutely brilliant stuff. On lap 17 out of 21, this could be the move to win the race. Let's have a look. This is in turn 1, and well, it all started with Jorge Jesus putting pressure on Diogo Silva. Now they're running side by side. Diogo Silva is going to come to the outside, hoping to make a bit of an undercut there, but Jorge Jesus is having none of it, and Diogo ends up having to run wide, and a bit of contact there between all the 3 drivers. And now for 2nd place, Jorge Jesus does have the advantage there on the inside and completes the pass. Diogo Silva loses the lead, loses 2nd place as well now on lap 17. Let's have a look at other battles as Darren Head is in 4th place. Where is Gonçalo Mota? Gonçalo Mota still behind Darren Head. Where is Diogo Almeida? Still behind Gonçalo Mota. And where is Scott Davey? Scott Davey has lost a bit of steam there. He is in 7th spot, but he's now a little bit too far behind that battle, unless someone makes a mistake or there is a bit of tangling. I'm not sure that Scott Davey has something for the top 6 in this race. 8 is going to be Andrew Dalby, and Andrew Dalby is running on his own. 9th is going to be, and he's running a little bit wide there as well. 9th is Kev Allen, and Kev Allen is coming for Andrew Dalby, so Kev Allen still in the mix for this 8th place. And then it's Rob Oldham. He's not that far behind. Let's have a look at the onboard now. In the final few laps here for the lead, we have Delphi Mora, Jorge Jesus and Diogo Silva. The top 3. We'll keep an eye on the other 3-car battle behind. Look at these absolutely brilliant lines there for all the top 3 drivers, as we are now approaching the last few minutes of this race. 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go, so this is going to end very soon. Let's look at the battle here now for 4th place. Sorry, this is 6th place man Joe Almeida, but an absolutely brilliant onboards in this race. And Darren Head also seems to have found a little bit of breathing space. Look at this. Oh, and Joe Almeida giving Gonçalo Mota a bit of help there, a bit of a push there in turn 1. I'm not sure that that was the help that Gonçalo needed, but he did get a bit closer to Darren Head, bizarrely, with that push. And now this is a little bit dicey over here, and I wonder if this is going to ooh, this is a bit dicey. This is much dicier than the battle. Oh, Darren Head has made a mistake there as well, which didn't help. And look at this, Gonçalo Mota is now going for it. He's going for 4th place again, and he is on the outside. Not the greatest location for an overtake. Oh, beautiful. Oh, this was absolutely brilliant by Gonçalo Mota. A complete dummy on Darren Head with very close racing, but no contact. But Darren is having none of it, and he's now coming back at Gonçalo. This is absolutely brilliant. Let's have a watch here from Diogo Almeida's perspective. This is absolutely brilliant. And look at this, Darren Head does recover the position. They run side by side to the corner. We have no track limits today here in the Red Bull Ring, and Gonçalo Mota actually does it on the outside, a bit outside the track, but within reason of what's allowed these days in Old Folks Racing PlayStation with this car, a bit of a laissez-faire approach. But this is why we absolutely love this racing. And Darren Head has been sold a dummy, then tried to come back at Gonçalo, but Gonçalo had none of it and recovered the position. Now Darren Head has to contend with Diogo Almeida, and this is almost the last lap. And look at this is the top three, and they are very close to one another again, but not too close. Let's have a look at Diogo Almeida here. This is perhaps even a more interesting battle than the battle for the lead, because we see slightly, and Darren Head is on the verge of blocking Diogo Almeida. A little bit of vigorous move there by Darren Head, but still he only made one move, and Diogo Almeida now is going to have to do it on the outside, and probably that's not going to work necessarily, and exactly because the outside does have a bit more distance that you have to go. This is the last lap of the race, and the top three are already going to see the checkered flag. We'll keep an eye on the battle for fourth place as well, but it's going to be Delphi Moura from Jorge Jesus, from Diogo Silva, unless something very, very strange is going to happen. Oh, Jorge Jesus made a slight mistake there, but now it's going to be Delphi Moura, followed by Jorge Jesus, followed by Diogo Silva. Now at the line, what is this? Oh, Diogo Almeida is... what happened here? Diogo Almeida... Oh dear. Scott Davley is involved in this. Darren Head is involved in this, and it seems to me that we do have to replay probably the last lap, probably the entire last lap, because some drivers were a bit out of position there. So the last time we checked, it was okay. So this is where we were. Gonçalo Mota in fourth, Darren Head in fifth, and Diogo Almeida in sixth. Now Diogo Almeida is going to try to make a move here, which is slightly optimistic and does result in a bit of contact, but not much. But he actually manages to incredibly complete the overtake. A bit of pushing and shoving, and Darren Head is then... Darren Head actually spun as a result of this. Let's look at things from his perspective, because, well, it was... Let's have a look at Darren, and, well, to be fair, there was a bit of contact, but not huge. And Darren just lost a bit of momentum. The main thing that happened is that Darren lost a bit of momentum, and Darren is now going to go... he was trying to get momentum and just clipped there the gravel, ends up losing the position to Scott Davley, I believe. Does he lose the position to Scott Davley? Now, how did Diogo Almeida end up spinning? He spun on his own. And then Scott Davley nowhere to go, and Scott Davley did overtake. Oh dear. Well, the net result is that Gonçalo Mota finished in fourth, fifth is Scott Davley, sixth Darren Head, seventh, and look at this, another photo finish. So fourth was Gonçalo Mota, fifth was Scott Davley, sixth was Darren Head, seventh was Diogo Almeida, and then this is Andrew Dalby getting overtaken. This is Diogo Almeida recovering. So this is Diogo Almeida recovering, and he still crosses the line in seventh, I believe. And look at this is Kev Allen, and let's have a look at the moment of the line, which is coming here. So seventh was Diogo Almeida, eighth was Kev Allen, ninth was Andrew Dalby, and 10th is going to be Rob Oldham. What a race this was, and we shall see you in race 2 for more action with the 4 Escort. Thank you for watching, and see you very soon at the Labareda channel, the usual place. to cover all Fox Racing as a whole. Bye bye.